my pleasure to be here today, and it's also my pleasure to serve as the board chair for the College of Idaho. It's another great day for the college. It was just a couple weeks ago we were in the same room celebrating a multi-year gift from the Dennis and Phyllis Washington group, which we're very excited about. Today, we're here to celebrate another gift from the Wells Fargo Corporation. A couple years ago, Wells Fargo made an initial gift to advance our efforts regarding diversity and inclusion. During 2018 and 19, the college underwent an inclusion inventory assessment. It was again funded by Wells Fargo, and based on this work, we identified 3 key areas that we would, that for us would achieve targeted action and achieve substantial and lasting changes. The areas are curricular revision, programming for students, and scholarships. Again, these grant funds will be used to conduct a multi-year diversity inclusion initiative with 3 main subparts: curricular, I got it, revision, again, enabling student experiences, and scholarships targeted at Hispanic students. We accept the challenge and contribution with tremendous gratitude. We understand that this gift may be, we also understand that this gift may be, in fact, the largest gift of its kind in the state of Idaho by the Wells Fargo Corporation, and for that, again, we're tremendously grateful. And with that, my first, I will end my prepared remarks here and let you hear from a couple of our students who have been impacted by our efforts that have been, again, initially we started this study in 2018 and 19, and then this investment has allowed us to continue that work. So first will be Aurora, and I'll let you introduce your friend who I just met, by the way, but so why don't you come on up. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Aurora Kosart. I'm a senior here, and I'm from Boise.
And my name is Becky, and I'm a junior, and I'm from Uganda.
And we're both here because we have been tremendously impacted by diversity and inclusion efforts at C of I, and they mean a lot to us. So I'd like to start with a quote from a man named Dr. Ibu Patel, who is the founder and president of the Interfaith Youth Corps. He likes to say, "Bridges don't fall from the sky or rise from the ground. People build them." We're honored today to get to honor one person and one corporation that has been helping us build bridges, which has been an ongoing effort here at C of I. This has meant a lot to me personally. I was born and raised here in Boise, not too far from the college, and I'm so grateful for the upbringing that I had in such an amazing state as Idaho. But I also realized that my perspective came with its limitations. My perspective wasn't the same as everyone else's. Even my small, mostly homogeneous high school over in Boise was mostly segregated by race, class, and culture. So as I thought about going on to higher education, it was important to me that I would be able to engage with perspectives other than my own and wouldn't simply be reinforcing what I had always thought about the world. That's part of the reason I came to College of Idaho and one of the things that has driven me since I've been here.
So I came to C of I because of how much diversity was embraced here. I'm a junior and I continue to learn from new people that I meet every year. Diversity has helped me learn new perspectives and embrace and build stronger friendships and relationships, such as Aurora. However, it's important to notice that diversity on its own is not enough. Inclusion is the bigger picture, and that's where school programs come in. So in order for us all to benefit, we need tools and spaces, and that's where this grant comes in. And it will provide us with the necessary means to achieve this goal.
Yeah, just as Becky said, diversity isn't enough, and our inclusion efforts are what's really going to drive us forward into the future and what has made such a big impact on us. So we really want to thank Wells Fargo for helping provide the resources to create spaces where we can genuinely engage with each other and benefit from each other's strengths. As we continue to think about diversity and inclusion moving forward, let's leave with this quote. This is from a group of Aboriginal activists in Queensland in the 1970s. They said, "If you've come here to help me, then you're wasting your time. But if you have come here because you realize that your liberation is bound up in mine, then come and let's work together." Thank you, Wells Fargo, for working with us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let us start with saying thank you to Don and Wells Fargo for this grant. My name is Parker Archuleta. I'm a sophomore here at the college, as well as one of the recipients of this grant. And I'm here to tell you how it's personally impacted me. I come from a family that knows the value of a college education. That being said, the last time somebody in my family went to a college, their 4 years of tuition totaled $700. Needless to say, it's been some time. As a result, I grew up on outdated advice. They told me, go to school, get good grades, play a sport, join some clubs, and colleges will just hand out full rides. So I tried to do that. I played 4 years of lacrosse, I was a salutatorian at my high school, and I held memberships and leadership positions in multiple clubs. It was a rude awakening when I realized that's not how the present-day higher education system works. It was about my junior year when I realized I was going to need more financial help. My parents were in no position to pitch in, and even if they could, I wanted them to save those funds for my 3 younger brothers, one of which has ADHD and dyslexia and would not be able to earn the same academic scholarships I did. So I picked up 2 extra jobs in addition to the one I had, and I started to apply for scholarships and symposiums, one of which was the Hispanic Youth Symposium that was hosted on this very campus. At the symposium, there's multiple ways to earn scholarships. There's the talent show, the art showcase, and the speech showcase. No, I cannot sing or draw to save my life, but the people around me know I'll talk your ear off. So I walked away with second place and a $300 scholarship, but the showcase ended up being so close that one of the judges recommended me to Arnold Hernandez, the director of inclusion at the college. It turned out he was looking to hand out a $5,000 scholarship to the College of Idaho. You can imagine my surprise when I won a scholarship I did not know existed. It was after the scholarship ceremony, the symposium tried to interview me. They asked me what these scholarships meant to me. And I immediately started crying. I have no clue where the footage ended up, but it's completely unusable because I was too emotional. But I couldn't help it. This scholarship was hope. This was hope that I could go to college, that my brothers could go to college, and that my mom and dad would not have to worry about me being all right. It was a peace of mind. But this scholarship's not just a sum of money. It's opportunity. Around my senior year of high school, I needed a professional mentor for my senior project on healthcare barriers to HOA workers. So I emailed Arnold and see if he was available. And not only was he able and willing to help, he went above and beyond. He introduced me to countless professionals with knowledge on my topic, as well as gathered a small group of college students to sit in on my presentation. And as if that wasn't enough, after my presentation, he more than doubled my scholarship. It was this hospitality and genuine concern for my well-being, represented by a scholarship, that convinced me to come to the College of Idaho. Without the scholarship and the people that I brought into my life, my entire life would look very different. So Wells Fargo and Mr. Melendez, I'd like to thank you and encourage you to continue your support because it truly impacts lives.
The students here are just absolutely amazing, just really a nice job. It's great to hear from you. It's also my pleasure to introduce Don Melendez and Molly Lente. Don actually serves on our board here at the College of Idaho. It's actually yesterday was your first day or second day. We're very pleased to have Don on the board. Don serves as the Western Idaho Regional President for Wells Fargo. With him is Molly Lente, who's also a good friend of mine, and I've been colleagues for a number of years on a number of other community organizations, and she's, I think, Vice President of Community Services for the bank. So with that, I'll turn it over to you, Don.
Thank you, Jeff. I have prepared remarks, but I have to share with you that it's humbling to hear stories of what actually happens. And, sorry. it's why I do what I do. I learned how to cry from Jim, and so I thought I would use what I learned. And suffice to say, I'm really proud to be here. It's an extraordinary time at the university. And I know that what you do here not only impacts the students, it impacts the communities, and as the ripple effect takes over as you graduate and you go out to the world, you have the ability to change the world. Not a small thing. At Wells Fargo, diversity and inclusion is one of the 5 primary values that guide our actions. We're not always perfect. We work on getting better. It's a layer approach, but we use the knowledge and the passion that our team members have through team member networks. Just before this, we heard from your veterans team that are on Veterans Club that's on campus. Wonderful experience, wonderful efforts. So we follow the same process. So yesterday is my first day as trustee, and I'm at an educational facility, and I did learn a great deal. Paid attention, didn't fall asleep, not even in the afternoon. And so one of the things that grabbed me yesterday was, I'm not sure it's your mission statement, but it's how you describe each other or yourselves. And I'll read it. We are an inclusive community of exceptional learning that challenges the ambition and forges pathways to success and purpose. And that was really compelling for me as to why I feel lucky. And you'll hear from my colleague, Molly Linty Dixon, because she married a Yote, and I wanted to put that in there. But I look at this as an investment. The investment in what started out in 1891, the nature and culture of this college has progressed. It will continue to progress. And I think we feel very, very lucky to have an opportunity to accelerate what you've already done and what you will do tomorrow. So without further ado, let me invite Molly Lindy Dixon to give some more details. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Don. As you shared, we have some prepared comments for today. However, I think what you just spoke to, you could have just dropped the mic right then, and I probably really don't need to layer it on, but I am going to share a few things about Wells Fargo, our commitment to diversity and inclusion, things that we've learned internally, and then also how excited we are to support this effort here at the college. So for us, diversity and inclusion is actually not new. It's been a part of who we are since we were first founded in 1852. If you think about Wells Fargo and the stagecoaches, and we had the stage drivers way back when, it's really interesting that for the company in 1888, there was a manual, a booklet called Instructions to Agents, and this was for the stagecoach agents that drove around the country. And in the booklet, it talks about insisting on fair treatment to all our customers. And it read, "Proper respect must be shown to all. Let them be men, women, or children, rich or poor, white or black. It must not be forgotten that the company is dependent on these same people for its business." The business case for diversity is clear and compelling, including the demographic reality of our team members, our customers, communities, and suppliers. We intentionally and consistently consider diversity as part of all business practices and ensure alignment of policies and practices with diversity and inclusion goals. Research shows that companies with diverse and inclusive cultures outperform their peers. And we know firsthand team members are more engaged at companies with diverse and inclusive cultures. We believe that to be successful, we must be as diverse as the customers and communities we serve. And as leaders, we need to actively seek out and support initiatives that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion across our communities. Wells Fargo's been long supportive of the College of Idaho's Multicultural Center, led by Arnold Hernandez under the direction of Paul Benyon and the Student Affairs team. And I'm so glad that that you spoke about that today, because seeing that program firsthand has been incredibly impactful for us. We've been impressed with the outcomes of the student mentoring program and what that's meant for individual students. We've had students visit us in our offices each semester, and Don has been a great example of a leader recognizing the students' accomplishments and challenging them to continue striving for more than what they may have ever thought was possible. When Don and I first sat down with co-presidents Jim Everett and Doug Brigham and learned about the intent to foster a diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative on campus, we both kind of smiled. After having funded and worked in a handful of scaled institutional diversity and inclusion efforts, we knew this work not to be for the faint of heart, and the commitment at the table was apparent. Our council was happy to underwrite the initial diversity audit that Jeff spoke about, and once the audit was completed, hearing how much the entire senior leadership team owned the outcomes and committed 100% in support of this hard work and the journey ahead, it was inspiring. This is why it was clear to our leadership team at Wells Fargo that supporting this work at the College of Idaho would be incredibly important. We know that diversity and the unique combination of various diversity dimensions that make each of us different from and also similar to each other. Leaders at all levels bear an extraordinary accountability for diversity and inclusion at Wells Fargo. Through their actions and words, leaders model the behaviors needed to enhance our culture. They hold themselves and team members accountable for measurable progress on our diversity and inclusion efforts. We expect our leaders to be personally competent and visibly committed to diversity and inclusion. And we expect our support of key initiatives in the community to follow. Personally, I can't think of a better leader for us at Wells Fargo than Don Melendez. He has been in support of this work since day one, and he models our commitment to diversity and inclusion in his leadership every day. We know this work to be ongoing. It's not easy, and it doesn't happen overnight, and that long-term positive culture change must have measurable goals and milestones of progress. Building and sustaining an inclusive culture requires specific behaviors and skills that need to be intentionally developed and continually practiced. In this work, it is imperative that we must be willing to be uncomfortable in order to understand and learn and grow. When I look around the room today, I see an incredible amount of leadership and support for this critically important work. And I know how fortunate we are to have two co-presidents who model the needed blend of compassion, awareness, and grit to help steward this work forward. I see a committed senior leadership team, many who are here with us today, and a brave board of trustees who are willing to embark on this journey that will no doubt make an indelible mark on countless students, faculty, staff, and the broader community. So we couldn't be happier to be here today. I'm going to hand it back over to Don.
Okay.
I won't go far. I'm going to go right here.
I'd ask Jim and Doug to come up, please. Jeff, don't go too far. This is the good part. Oh, no, you do.
Okay, I'll do the announcement.
I'll hold the money.
So we are incredibly excited to be able to award $100,000 towards this project. We know the work will be ongoing and will be in support as it continues the next few years. So happy to be here today. We brought along a hero check, and looks like I don't know if you want us to move over for a look at Adam. Should we scooch? Perfect.
Here.
Have the students come up?
Becky. Come on up.
They're saying, oh no.
Come on up. It's only a camera.